Dave, let's get to it. What was he thinking on the 4th down call? That's what everyone wants to know. I know you were there. What did he say?
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I have not.
Really?
Oh, it's 5 minutes to go?
5 minutes to go.
One down.
It's a 7-point game. It is a 4th down, but you're on the 1. I mean, you were square on the 1, and he elects to kick a field goal, try a field goal from 19 yards. It hits off the upright, but that really isn't the point. We went over there and asked him. About 8 different people tried to ask him at once, why did you elect to kick a field goal on 4th down? And I still don't understand what he said. He said, well, it's a 2-possession game. And I'm like, well, it isn't really. It's a 1-possession game, especially if you send it to overtime. Then there's no possessions left. You get it even, and he's like, you still got to have two scores to win the game. Well, you don't even have to do that. If you try a 2-pointer, I said, then it's nothing. That's it. Then you win the game with 1 possession. He was like, yeah, you guys second-guessed me. That's okay. It was my call.
That kind of sounds about what I thought he might say. I'm not agreeing with him at all, but that sounds about what he would say.
And Mark Whipple apparently had nothing to do with it also. He said he horned in there and made it.
I'll say this, when you score 14 points 2 years ago, and you scored 6 points last year, and you're sitting on 10 late, maybe you go for the end zone. Because it's kind of been a struggle to score points. Maybe when you get that close to drive.
Kenny Pickett really was outstanding today.
He was.
Very sad for him because he played his butt off.
I didn't know that he had that in him. He really made it a believer out of me.
You could tell he was a nervy quarterback in the game against Virginia. He got beat up. Here he didn't get beat up. They really didn't get him. He's got a little slip and slide back in the pocket.
One of the reasons they didn't get him is because he could move his feet so well in the pocket. He could sense danger all game. Shaka Toney could have had 5 sacks. He only had 1. He was close a lot, but credit to Pickett for finding his way out of trouble.
The 1 was crucial. The one that Toney got. Also, when they went ahead, they had a chance there to kill the game, and they couldn't do it. And what do you say about Penn State's offensive line in situations like that?
I don't think it was the offensive line, Dave. I think the coaching staff messed up. That Noah Cain should have been in the game to finish the game.
That's another thing.
He was brilliant on that one drive. That really the game-winning score accounted for about 2/3 of the yards, and then we don't see him again.
Squirrely.
Like, what is that about?
I mean, it's still, to me, don't you think you should at least feature 2 backs and not 4? At this point, don't you decide? And Franklin did admit that he should have had Cain in the game.
Yeah, this was a game where I think Pitt played lights out as much as they could,
as hard as they could.
And Penn State had some opportunities that they just missed on. If you remember, Sean Clifford had Hamler wide open for a touchdown in the second half and just threw it one step too far.
He had a couple of them.
They should have had more points. I give them credit for shutting Pitt out in the second half. I think the defense, for a defense that people are wondering why they're not dominant, they haven't given up a lot of points this year. I mean, maybe they haven't been as flashy and the defensive ends haven't been as flashy, but it's hard to argue with, they've given up 30 points in 3 games.
And they've been resilient and they've lasted whole games.
Yeah.
I mean, they have played good 4th quarters. And Castro Fields had a couple of hits. They had a couple of big hits at important times, bottling them up into their own end.
One of Micah's best games, if not his best game.
For certain.
And Cam Brown on the goal line made 2 plays that not many linebackers can make, or else I think Pitt gets the tying touchdown.
And let's give Clifford credit for the one really good throw.
Yeah.
Running against his body, stopping, knowing he's going to take a hit, and throwing way across the field for a big completion there. He knew he was going to take that.
Yeah. I think Penn State survived this one. I think they'll get better, but it's just one of those things. They're not very good on 3rd down. Clifford got hit too much in the first half, and I just think we haven't seen a complete effort from this team yet. Maybe it's coming. A win's a win, but I still. Having said all this, I still cannot believe Pat Narduzzi tried to kick a field goal from the 1-yard line.
Nobody can. I've never seen anything like it.
I'm stunned he did it.
To make it a 4-point game, it doesn't make any sense with 5 minutes to go.
The math doesn't work for me, Dave. It doesn't.
Maybe it's only he who can understand. Anyway, from here, we go to College Park in 2 weeks. Both the Terrapins and the Nittany Lions have a bye week. I gotta say, Maryland didn't look very good at Temple. They got beat up. Their quarterback, Josh Jackson, looks beat up, and they're going to need the rest. They've had a couple of physical games in a row with their quarterback, and it's going to be a very welcome, I think, bye week for both Pitt and Maryland.
I'm just glad Big Ten play is about to start. I've had enough of the non-con schedule. pretty much had enough of the Penn State Pitt series, quite honestly. I have not been that entertained the last 3 years.
I mean, yeah, it's not great football. Anyway, next time we'll see you is in a week and 6 days on a Friday night in College Park. Until then, sayonara.